Hi guys, it's Nayeli from the Financial Architects, and I'm here with my good friend
James from JM Realty Group and Remax Champions.
And this episode we're going to be speaking about final expense.
Final
Stay
expenses.
tuned.
We can go till the morning glow. We can go higher and higher. Action.
Hi everyone, we're here with episode 2 of Real Estate Finance and Insurance about final expense insurance and the value of that, what it's necessary for. If you saw episode 1, which would be right here, you can just click on it and take a look at it. If you want to catch up on what we've been doing as far as financial and our informational videos, then do that. However, we talked about home mortgage protection insurance, right?
Correct.
And with that being said, if for some reason, which is very rare, very rare, that you cannot get home mortgage protection insurance, final expense insurance is an alternative to that, and Nayeli is going to tell you why that is.
That is correct. So final expense is for someone that, like James mentioned, it's very rare that you don't qualify for term or for perm. But if you don't qualify for it, there is the option which is called final expense. Final expense does have some limitations. It covers you anywhere from $2,000 to $40,000 in coverage, and it is only for candidates between the ages of 45 and 85 years old. So if you're between those ages and for some reason, whether it be a health issue or whatever it is, you were denied a term policy and you
Term
need...
policy is insurance, right?
Correct.
Just want to make sure, okay.
A term policy, if you were denied a temporary life insurance, whether it be for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever it was, and you were denied, your option is final expense. Final expense is so that you do not leave your family with the debt of the expenses that it's going to cost
With your funeral service.
with your funeral
Right.
service.
We don't want you to have to do a car wash. We don't want you to have to do a GoFundMe.
Correct.
We don't want you to have to call. We don't want you to do anything illegal. You know, because when you get into the mindset of a loved one passing away, you don't think straight sometimes, and you do anything to make sure that they're laid to rest properly.
Correct.
So with that, it definitely helps in that process.
And it ties into what we spoke to you guys about earlier in our previous video with home mortgage protection.
Right.
How many people do we know that can go from one day to the other when they've lost their loved one and can continue functioning the same way? A lot of the people could sometimes have to miss work for even up to a month, or sometimes unfortunately lose their job because they just cannot function. So what final expense would do, it would not only cover the funeral services, but it will also give you a relief in those upcoming months to be able to continue also paying your mortgage during that time, during that devastation period of losing a loved one.
I didn't even know that, so let me just make sure we're clear that it covers the burial expenses of the services.
Correct.
And it pays for the mortgage as well?
It can, because
Okay.
you can go up to $40,000. So if the burial expenses is going to be $10,000, you have a $40,000 check in your hands, and now you have $30,000 that can hold you for the next few months. 6 months, a year, month, whatever it is, exactly. If it's your husband that passed away, you know, as you being the mom, and if you have kids, you're not going to be able to think straight. So you need to be able to have that cushion. If it's, you know, the husband and the wife passed away, whatever it is, if you lost your spouse or you lost your partner, and you can no longer,
either way.
Exactly. So that's what final expense will do. There is no medical exam. There is no blood work whatsoever.
So
Very rarely.
Nurse in the scrubs and
Nothing like that. Will not show up at your home.
No? Okay.
No.
Okay, got it.
Very rarely is there a phone interview, but very rarely. Again, this is no medical, no nothing, no questions. Everyone's approved from the ages of 45 to 85, and it goes anywhere from $2,000 to $40,000 in coverage.
So here's the thing. Even if I add that as value in my service to my clients, past and present, but even if you have a house currently and you don't need that service, you're not buying a house and I can't provide it for you, give Nayeli a call. If you have any questions, comment below. You have both our informations on here, a link to a website, but inquire about it. That's something that's pretty affordable for the most part. So let's just say you add up a bunch of Starbucks, or you go out to eat every day, or you just spend money frivolously like we all do. Chips, candy, snacks, whatever the case may be. If you add that money up for a monthly payment, that's going to cover you and your family in the case of things that we don't like to think about that happen every day in life. That would be well worth it.
And more importantly, we all have our parents, we have our uncles, aunts, anybody that's older that unfortunately didn't think about life
Right.
insurance in their early ages, and now a term or perm would be too expensive for them to qualify for it. That's also a great option, just to be able to say, okay, at least we're going to go ahead and cover the final expenses, and we're not going to be stressed and going into debt and going into our savings or going into whatever, and should that time or when that time comes.
Great. That's it. You know what? Thank you guys for taking the time, as always, to listen to our episode 2. We will get better. We're going to continue to bring you value and good information. Nayeli is not just all good looks. You can hear by what she's saying. She is very, very informative. So don't just come to watch her. Come to get information. And make sure, if you have any questions, concerns, or any constructive criticism as far as feedback, give it to us. We're open, and we'll keep doing this every week as you guys subscribe and view our information.
That's right.
Thank you.